Over the years, we've brought you many stories about how hard it can be for foreign-trained professionals to have their degrees recognized here in Ontario. And accountants are no different. Now there seems to be another wrinkle in speeding up the process thanks to a new bill, one that critics say is a humiliating process and may bring the Attorney General's office before the Ontario Human Rights Commission. Kosh Panthaki has the details.
Ranil Mendis is a management accountant with almost 2 decades of experience working in Toronto. He's got an associate chartered management accountant designation from the UK and is a board member of the Canadian Mental Health Association of Peel Region. But he says Bill 158, regulating the accounting industry in Ontario, will not allow him to use his accounting designation on any business card, website, or other publication.
Now, as soon as this becomes law, I have this humiliating task of calling the CEO of the CMHA Peel and say, please take that designation out. Now, what does that do to this government that I have my designation on my website? How does that going to mislead public?
Mendis says many foreign accounting bodies, as well as accounting firms, wrote letters to the province saying the legislation would hurt foreign-trained accountants. Meanwhile, the North American representative of Cima, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, has also worked around the world, and he says Bill 158 is the impetus for him to consider bringing the Attorney General's office in front of the Ontario Human Rights Commission.
As an immigrant who come to this country, or came to Canada, with the qualifications that I've obtained, with Canada not saying anything at the time in any of the papers that you file when you apply for immigration, there's nothing to say that your qualifications are illegal in Canada, which is what this act will do. It makes it illegal.
However, according to the Attorney General's office, Cima's description of the bill is mistaken. In an email to Omni News, the ministry writes that the legislation does not regulate or determine standards for accounting in Ontario. It gives 3 self-regulating Ontario bodies the tools they need to enforce standards within their membership. The statement goes on to say that not only does Bill 158 not restrict anyone's existing right to practice accounting in Ontario, it introduces exemptions that will allow foreign-trained accountants to use their designations in the following circumstances: outlining their educational background in a job application, in a private conversation to try to get someone to retain their services, or to describe their background when giving a speech or responding to a request for proposal, whereby suppliers of accounting services are invited to provide their accounting services. The bill is still waiting for royal assent. The AG's office hasn't yet set a timetable. This is Kush Panthaki reporting for Omni News.